swims across marble like it's drowning. The air tastes like smoke, sweat, and wet iron. Somewhere outside, people are still arguing about freedom, while Rome quietly chooses a different word: payment. I'm not a general, not a senator. I'm a clerk, the kind of man an empire uses and forgets. Wax tablets, seals, lists, names. And tonight, the list is alive. They call it the Ides of March, like it's a date. In Rome, it's a doorway. Once Caesar fell inside the Senate, the city didn't bounce back, it shifted. The conspirators imagined applause. They imagined the Republic snapping into place like a reset. Instead, the streets went quiet, then filled with whispers, then with fear, then with something worse: organization. Because revenge in Rome doesn't start with a scream, it begins with paperwork. A messenger pushes through the door and throws a folded note onto my desk. The wax seal is already broken. Someone more important has already read it. 2 lines, neat and deadly. Confirm location, mark status, prepare copies. I don't ask which name. I already know the type. A Caesar killer. This is how it works now. You don't die once. You die in chapters. A friend forgets you. A ship captain suddenly refuses you passage. Grain shipments don't arrive. A door that used to open for you becomes a wall. Rome doesn't chase with romance. It chases with routes, bribes, seals, and lists. And the terrifying part, Rome is good at lists. I scratched the first entry of the night. Decimus Junius Brutus Albinus. Not Brutus. The other Brutus. The one Caesar trusted. That's what makes Decimus different and why the city wants him like a debt. I remember the rumors. Caesar hesitated that morning. Bad omens, warnings, a wife pleading. And Decimus, friend, insider, leans close and murmurs the final push. Go. Don't look afraid. A soft voice. A knife without steel. After the assassination, Decimus tries to hold power in Gaul like nothing has changed. But authority is a currency that collapses overnight. Allies ask for proof, then for payment, then for his head. The report arrives. He tried to slip through territory disguised. Cloak, borrowed papers, a guide paid in silver. Someone recognized him anyway. Maybe his face, maybe his voice, maybe the way he still walked like the world still owed him respect. He seized, killed. No courtroom, no speeches. Just the shortest sentence Rome can write, erased. My stylus presses harder, one name down. The next entry drags an entire war behind it. Gaius Cassius Longinus. Cassius didn't believe in applause. He believed in outcomes. He planned the assassination like a campaign. Positions, timing, doorways, distractions, blades. Cassius understood the only real law in Rome. If you fail to finish, you die. So he doesn't linger in the city to be thanked. He flees east. Provinces, money, ships, soldiers, real power. And Rome responds with an even colder invention. The triumvirs, Octavian, Antony, Lepidus. Men who don't debate in the Senate. They purchase violence and stamp it with legality. Then come the prescriptions. Lists of enemies marked for death and robbery. Friends betray friends. Servants sell masters. Men hide under floorboards while torches sweep the walls. It isn't justice. It's accounting. And the Caesar killers understand too late. The knives didn't end the fight. They started an industry. Then Macedonia sends its word. Philippi, 42 BC. Cassius meets Antony and Octavian in a battlefield haze. Dust turning day into twilight. Standards wobbling. Men shouting orders that dissolve into panic. Cassius receives a false report. His side is broken. His camp taken in war. Seconds are years. He chooses the only control left. Cassius orders his own death. Rome doesn't call it noble. Rome calls it clean. Cassius, paid. Now, the list accelerates. Not because the story is getting simpler, because Rome is getting better at hunting. Gaius Trebonius. Trebonius didn't deliver the most famous stab. He did something just as lethal. He kept Mark Antony away from Caesar. A friendly pull, a casual conversation, and the assassination happens uninterrupted. That kind of betrayal makes people furious because it's familiar. It's not a battlefield, it's a hallway. Trebonius runs east, thinking distance is armor. But distance is just time. The provinces aren't wilderness, they're Rome's extended body. Governors, garrisons, port officials, everywhere he might hide, someone can be paid to look. Trebonius is captured, executed. Trebonius, collected. And then come the names that don't get statues, men who helped open the trapdoor. Tullius Cimber, the petition in Caesar's face, the polite bait that starts the ambush. Casca, remembered for the first strike, the cut that turns conspiracy into murder. Ligarius, drawn in by loyalties and grudges, a man who thought politics was a game until it became a hunt. Some die in battle, some disappear into exile and starvation, some are betrayed by the very networks that once protected them. Civil war doesn't always give you a dramatic ending. Sometimes it gives you the worst kind, a quiet one. Rome shows its ugliest trick. It kills the wrong man. A poet named Helvius Cinna is mistaken for a conspirator with a similar name. The crowd doesn't verify. It doesn't hesitate. Rage doesn't need accuracy. It needs a target. That's when I understand. Once a city starts killing by name, truth becomes optional. The list becomes more powerful than facts. The room feels smaller. The torch burns low. Outside, footsteps pass. Soldiers, maybe, or neighbors making sure their own names aren't next. Then the final entry arrives like a weight placed on my chest. Marcus Junius Brutus. The symbol, the virtuous blade, the man they wanted to turn into marble, while Caesar still bled. After the assassination, Brutus tries to act like the Republic still exists, like speeches matter, like laws matter. But laws don't stop crowds. They don't stop legions. They don't stop a young Octavian learning in real time how power works. Brutus flees east, raises an army, tells himself he's saving Rome from monarchy. Yet every step away from the city proves the opposite. A republic that can't control its streets is already dead. It just hasn't admitted it. Then Philippi again. Rome fighting Rome. Destiny written in dust. Brutus doesn't just fight Antony and Octavian. He fights momentum. He fights the fact that Caesar's death didn't restore the old world. It detonated it. When defeat closes in, Brutus chooses a Roman exit. Not because he wins, because he refuses to be displayed. Brutus dies by suicide. Brutus, paid in full. I set my stylus down and stare at the wax grooves. They look like scars, because that's what they are. History carved into something soft. What happened to Caesar's murderers? Some died fast, clean. Some died slow, cornered by logistics, betrayed by friends, crushed by exile. Some died famous. Some died forgotten. One innocent man died because Rome stopped checking facts once the blood started flowing. That's the brutal price they paid. Not because Rome suddenly became moral, but because Rome became efficient. And here's the verdict the Senate won't say out loud. Killing Caesar didn't save the Republic. It taught Rome a method. Take power with violence. Legalize it afterward. And once that lesson is learned, it doesn't fade. It spreads. I look at the list one last time and feel the city breathing outside. Uneven, paranoid, hungry. Then I write the line that feels like a curse every time it hits the wax. History never dies. It just echoes. The knives that fell on Caesar didn't end a tyrant. They taught an empire how to collect debts, name by name, until the Republic was only a story people told to feel clean. Subscribe for more stories where the past proves it never really lets go.